Day 8 underway. Malawi in possession versus Jamaica. Forced backwards at the moment, Malawi.
This is very typical Malawi play. Incredibly patient. Kamwenda on the drive.
Advantage obstruction. Centre and
Bridget
again,
Kamwenda a little time
to
decide to give her the ball. Goes where we all thought it would end up, into the hands of Mike Kamwenda.
No relation, those two Kamwendas, in case you're wondering.
Oh, a little fumble there. And Thompson.
Unusual for her. She's had a great tournament, Paula Thompson, in the mid-court.
Yeah, she has. And the Jamaican mid-court play has been a real feature. So much attention gets given to the front line with Aiken in it, but she has been very well served by her mid-court.
Wanda Loi's centre for Malawi. Unfortunate.
Yeah, that's a really interesting call, isn't it? Sharon Kelly, incredibly experienced umpire. She called advantage centre contact, which seemed to push the ball out of Loi's hand. And then she said, no, it's a replay. So she felt that the contact didn't really have an impact on the second grab, and Jamaica make the most of that.
Riley had the day off yesterday after that game the day before against New Zealand. Jamaica, well, they had a pretty tough time against Uganda. Got there in the end, but it was a bit of a thriller.
Well, there was one goal then in at half-time, and Jamaica got up by 8. So Williams calling time.
Only about, what, 2.5 minutes gone in the game. This is Khadija Williams, 2 Williams in this team. Vangelie Williams, the other one. Very good young defender. And I'm sure both these sides well aware of just how much is on this game. And Malawi, they've done well, haven't they? Until they had that loss to New Zealand, they've been unbeaten.
Well, they come into this clash having lost only 1 game. Jamaica come into the clash having lost 2.
Interesting huddle from Malawi. And still a bit of concern about Williams. Jill McIntosh, technical advisor for Jamaica, goes over and checks as the coach, Millie Threadles, just finds out what's going on.
Yeah, really interesting. When you look into the huddles just then, or the huddle just then, it was Jill McIntosh in there doing all the talking. Incredibly experienced coach. Coached Australia to 2 World Cup wins in 1995 and 1999. So it has an incredible amount of respect from the Jamaican players, and her presence has been keenly felt. This Jamaican team very much a Jill McIntosh influenced team. The discipline is really showing through, and that's something that has been lacking in Jamaican play before.
So Vangelie Williams has come on at wing defence to replace her namesake.
Damage centre contact.
Why Kamwenda, what a story she has been. The same could be said for Imelda Aiken, really. Left their home countries to make their way in other parts of the netball world and really done tremendously well.
Oh, beautiful rebound then from Wenda. You can see when she takes a shot, she steps in, and she just stepped into the hands then of facing in goal defence, and she's sort of done it all tournament and hasn't bothered her, but I reckon that miss came from the fact that she just had hands all over the ball. And she doesn't do herself any favours sometimes in stepping into the defensive arms.
What amazes so many of us is her ability to get out of trouble.
Yes.
I think she does, or catches the impossible. You can see there the vast height advantage Aiken has over both the Malawi defenders.
Advantage causing wing.
Oh, wow. Great rebound there from facing, and beautifully backed up by the Jamaican midcourt. Just get the sense that Malawi, it's a real effort for them to be able to move the ball into their shooting circle, whereas Jamaica, it's easy. They get it somewhere within the same postcode and then just can throw it up to Aitken. She stands at 196 centimetres. And Kumbo, who's her direct opponent, 177. So she's giving away 20 centimetres there.
Contact, goal defence.
This is a good start for Jamaica. 5 minutes gone. 7-3 they lead.
Structure, ball attack. In the centre.
Advantage defensive structure. Contact goal defense. With the goal defense. Jamaica.
Contact with defence.
Beautiful take there from Thompson in the middle.
Contact, goal defence. Contact, goalkeeper. Just the goalkeeper, this side. Let the goalkeeper stand out and play goal defence. Advantage obstruction, goal defence.
Both these sides have been in really impressive form. They actually came into this game with the status of being the two most accurate in the competition. Malawi shooting at 90%, Jamaica at 89%.
And that woman there, Maika Wenda, is the best shooter in the competition. 197 goals at 91% for the tournament. So Malawi will rely on her and she will deliver the goods. Their big challenge today is going to be stopping Romelda Aiken at the other end of the court. And she's ranked number 13 for the tournament, 113 goals at 93%.
That was a big mistake on the centre pass for Malawi, and Jamaica make them pay.
Contact, centre, goal threat.
Beautiful one-handed take there from Aitken. She's doing it easily at the moment.
It's a great sort of little push pass, isn't it, from Henry? Just puts the ball up on a platform of her hand and a flick.
Yeah, now Vinkumbo's called time. I'm not surprised. I would have thought they would have looked to have made a change at quarter time in that goalkeeper position. And you can see in the background, Nguira has been warming up, and it would make sense to put her into that goalkeeper position. She's just got an extra 10 centimetres, which you need against the height of someone like Romelda Aiken. I mean, you look at the way Nguira plays, she doesn't have a huge amount of footwork, but she's got a great leap, and she doesn't need it against Aiken. As long as she's up there and interface, and she only needs to pull in a couple of stray passes here and there. So Ntakuli will stay at goal defence, and the change has been made.
Contact, goal attack.
halfway mark, first quarter, 11-5. Jamaica comfortable in this early stage of the match.
Goal defence contact.
Whoever wins this is in the top 4. The other one slips down into the grouping of 5th to 8th place.
Manage break wing attack.
Nice speed down the sideline by Sasha Gay Henry. You can hear Kumwenda. Oh, they've turned it over. Contact against Kumwenda, in fact. Or by Kumwenda.
Contact, goalkeeper. That's obstruction, goal defence.
Sasha Gay Henry, wing attack for Jamaica, just an incredibly experienced campaigner. She's announced she's retiring at the end of this tournament. Jamaica's best ever finish at a World Cup is 3rd, and she would dearly love to finish her career pushing higher than that.
Centre contact.
Well, at times in this tournament, you'd have to say they've looked good enough for it, haven't they?
They have, and if not for their 3rd quarter fade out against England in that match, they may very well have come away with the win there too. So
Contact.
I think they're a real danger team should they win this match
Contact, goalkeeper.
and progress through to the semi-finals. They're going to make Australia uncomfortable.
Beside the goalkeeper.
They have that ability, don't they? They play that different style of game that the other, the more, well, I was going to say staid countries, but perhaps the Englands, the New Zealands, the Australias, quite a different style. And the same can be said for Malawi, which I think made things difficult for New Zealand the other day.
The way both Jamaica and Malawi play an attack, it's incredibly unpredictable, and they're so patient, and they'll move the ball backwards and take a really short pass, and it's so difficult defensively to read. It makes them almost uncomfortable to play against from a defensive point of view. So, little win there for Ngura.
First miss of the day for Aiken and for Jamaica. And that brings a cheer from the crowd. Big crowd coming in for day 8. Some good netball lies ahead.
Well, there's a big crowd early, and I reckon a lot of people would have penciled in this game as perhaps a must-see match. And as New Zealand found the other night against Malawi, a 6-goal buffer in the first quarter is not enough.
Yes, that was the mark of that game, wasn't it? Malawi got away just to a shocking start. And that was really what almost helped get New Zealand home.
Yeah, so Malawi really won the last 55 minutes of that match, but New Zealand had done enough early with their start to be able to control it home. And it seems to me that Malawi have done the same here, just allowed their opponents to get a little bit of a jump on them. Another Aiken a long way from home.
Malawi doing their best to keep her out. Oh, Aiken won't want it from there.
Centre, contact. Obstruction.
Manage break goal defence.
Sintoe, yes, she can get up and play the ball.
Manage offside wing, manage contact centre.
And she do it within 3 seconds.
Beautiful little sleight of hand there from Sintoe. She looked out of the circle. It drew the Jamaican defenders off Kumwenda, and then a little flick pass over the top. Had to work hard, but it was a nicely crafted goal.
That is obstruction, keeper. Obstruction, goal defence.
Certainly Jamaica doesn't seem to be getting the ball in as easy as it was earlier.
No, and the height of Nguira has got Aiken on the move, and that's what Malawi want. It's sort of playing into their hands a little bit. The next challenge for them is to be able to capitalise on that, keep Aiken out, make us shoot from uncomfortable positions.
That feed had gone in earlier. Oh, who's this in the hoardings?
Will be a 30-second if you want time.
As soon as Sharon Kelly reminds her to be 30 seconds, quick movement.
Good recovery.
And into the thick of it.
That's good umpiring, actually, from Sharon Kelly. Just reminding the players of what they're up to. Face is a little bit limpy.
Here's how it happened.
Oh, she just collected Kumwenda on the way through.
Well, this is good from Malawi.
So, Bessie's looking at the bench, and the bench are shaking her off. You stay out there.
Hold time. Kick off your leg. Free pass.
Yeah, and we were telling the captain, just come on to get on with it. Well, that was a blow for Malawi because they had an opportunity there to get one up.
They've got to keep their cool, Malawi. This is a long game. They've got 45 minutes left. And if they're going to pull back this 6-goal deficit, must have cool heads.
And you saw that big step in, Liz, that you mentioned earlier from Kumwenda. She had to throw it out rather than try to shoot. As the sign says, 30 seconds remaining in the first quarter, 18-13. So just a 5-goal margin. Oh, into Cooley, outside arm, nicely done. Let's see if they can do it, Malawi. They'll look for it. Oh, but it goes to Thompson. So time runs out for Malawi in that first quarter. Good start for Jamaica, but the Malawians have come back at the break. Jamaica leads 19-13. Well, Mary Wire there calling the shots.
She certainly is, and it's been a good defensive start from Jamaica. You can see that they've had 2 intercepts compared to no clean intercepts from Malawi. If you dig a little bit deeper into those defensive stats, Jamaica have also had 4 deflections to Malawi's 1 and picked up the ball on one of those occasions. They've turned over the ball a couple of fewer times than Malawi as well. So Jamaica doing a good job of upsetting the Malawi flow and getting the ball on their hand defensively, but they're also not turning the ball over, which means it's been incredibly difficult for Malawi to win ball back. And the problem for Malawi, with a couple of times they have won ball back, they simply haven't scored from it. So a nice clean start for Jamaica. They're moving the ball well through the midcourt, and it looks like they're finding Romelda Aiken with reasonable ease. When the change was made defensively and Nguira came on, it took the Jamaicans a little while just to figure out what her range was, and towards the end of that quarter, they went back again to just lifting the ball up. And Aiken's such an incredible competitor. You know, she gets the ball over the best defenders in the world, so it didn't take long for her to get up and start taking the ball with two hands. It just looked actually a little bit through that quarter like Romelda Aiken was a little bit proppy on that left ankle, so we'll see how that goes later in the game. Of course, if she's not available, then there's a pretty good replacement in Janelle Fowler-Reid, one of the top goal scorers in the world's best netball competition, the ANZ Championship. So Jamaica really, we'll just keep an eye on Aiken. She just doesn't look happy on that left ankle. So a little bit of love being given to her then during one of the timeouts. So that's probably the only concern that Jamaica have at the moment.
It's our centre. We need this first goal. Let's get it down and then mark hard. We need to slow them up coming through court. It's coming down too fast. Deny. Let's go.
Clear message there from Jill McIntosh. Technical directors are saying we need to deny, slow them down, and don't let up.
Yeah, and a good coach will always give quite specific instructions. The last thing you want to hear as a player is, come on, we can do this. You know, that's your captain's job. The coach's job is to give very clear, very specific instructions. Jill McIntosh, when she sets her team up in the team meeting beforehand, goes through a very specific game plan, and she does it in front of the whole team so that you know what everyone's job is around you, as well as knowing what your job is. So Jamaica will be very clear on what they need to do as individuals, and they'll also know what everyone else around them is trying to achieve as well.
And that was a good recovery from Aiken. If that ankle is a bit dicky, that wouldn't have helped it, but she scores. And a quick reply from Malawi. So 6 goals between these two sides, playing for a place in the semi-finals.
Contact, wing defence.
Grace Mwafuliwa, well offside.
Obstruction. Malawi.
That is contact, wing defence. Contact, goal defence. Stepping goal defence.
Santoe and Kumwenda trading pass after pass. Doesn't matter if it's finished like that.
Wing defence. Grab. Where you are now, wing. Keeper. Either right, shooter.
Loining Weira doing all she can to try and get some kind of position on Aiken, but
Advantage moving keeper.
Aiken moves through to 14 from 15.
That is obstruction centre.
We've seen a bit of Janelle Fowler-Reid in this tournament, haven't we? But certainly I think Aiken has been the superior shooter for Jamaica.
They're both capable of delivering a huge amount of goals, but it seems to me the difference when you watch Jamaica with Aiken on, they're just so much more confident of delivering her the ball. They just don't seem to be that confident of delivering to Janelle Fowler-Reid, which is interesting because Fowler-Reid's actually taller than Aiken. I think the difference is that Aiken sets herself up with so much space, and she's so obvious about the space that she wants the ball delivered into. Fowler-Reid hasn't quite mastered that art, and one of the reasons for that is because she's so tall. She doesn't often have to. When you hit a World Cup, though, you do need to make sure that you're showing the space, and that's Romelda Aiken there, just holding that left ankle up. And you wonder if Jamaica get a reasonable lead at half-time here, whether they'll make that change. They need a fit Romelda Aiken for the semi-finals.
Bearing in mind that semi-final is tomorrow.
These players are tough. 8 games in 10 days. Very little time to recover.
Step forward.
Well, I was looking back through the history of the World Cup, and in some of these competitions, you know, they played 12 games when there used to be something like 26 countries attending.
I remember in 1995, it was my first World Cup, but it seemed like there were hundreds of countries there. I think 99 was really the first World Cup where things started to be trimmed to 16 countries with qualifiers played.
Well, there's some marvellous history being shown at the moment. I was watching 1975 and there was Papua New Guinea playing on asphalt in bare feet.
That's extraordinary, isn't it?
Against Northern Ireland. It was extraordinary. How far the game has come.
And how great that that footage still exists. That mid-court pressure is what Jill McIntosh was calling for at that quarter-time break. Slow Malawi down through the mid-court.
Goalkeeper, you're pinning her arm down. Pass or shot.
The umpire very clear then about what was wrong, pinning her arm down. And Romelda Aiken did a pretty good job of making it very clear that she was having her arm pulled down. She's incredibly strong, Romelda Aiken, especially through that upper body. So if you want to get in an arm wrestle with her, you really want to be sure of your stuff.
Well, she's really grown as a player, hasn't she? She's had 8 years in Australia now in the Trans-Tasman Championship. When she first came, she was obviously the same height, but she was not nearly the build she is now. Far more commanding presence on the court.
Absolutely, and one of the things that's really obvious when players have a solid strength and conditioning program, and it's particularly the weights component of that year after year, every year you build on what you laid down the year before. And you can see with Romelda Aiken, she's so square-shouldered, she's so strong. And she was a great athlete when she first turned up at the Firebirds, but she's even better now, 8 years later, despite the Australian accent.
So just over 5 minutes gone in the second, 26-18.
Contact goal defence. Step back, shooter, where the goal attackers. Defence stand beside her.
Malawi at the moment have no answer for Jamaica.
It feels to me like Jamaica are cruising. They're just at half speed. They're playing within themselves because they can. They know they've got a big match tomorrow, but the danger was not getting through this game. So they still need to make sure they continue just pushing through, because the moment you give Malawi a sniff, they're such a confidence team. They'll come back at you.
Sintoe.
Not wholly within the circle, Central.
Here's a little chance for Malawi.
Now that's an interesting rule, not wholly within the circle. That is another rule that's been changed, and having a chat the other day to Nat Von Berto, great Australian mid-quarter, recently retired. She breathed a huge sigh of relief on behalf of all mid-quarters that rule has changed. Temepara Bailey was part of that conversation as well, and she wholeheartedly agreed. They both feel that it's a rule that needed to be changed.
Well, here's 2 in a row for Malawi. Centre pass to come.
Problem for Jamaica is I get the sense that this crowd would love to see an upset, so they're going to get behind Malawi, and Malawi love it when the crowd's behind them.
I have not seen Malawi play when the crowd has not been with them. Wherever they've played.
Well,
and it's a credit to them because it's the way they play.
It is. And Malawi and Uganda are the other team that are real crowd favourites, so if they meet later on in this competition, it's going to be a difficult decision. Spectators, beautiful delivery there from Thompson.
Advantage. Malawi.
The second quarter, better for Malawi, 9-8. The lead to Jamaica. Oh, nice. Up to go back from Kumwenda. Mary Wire in the middle, Peace Kalua, the head coach, on the left of screen.
And again, wing attack.
Both great players for Malawi in their time. Oh, Ingwera! And they pick it up.
Yeah, that's a tip she's been waiting for and working for. And against a great goal shooter like Romelda Aiken, you only need to sort of get your hand to a ball a quarter and you've done your job.
I love the way Waz attacks the ball. And the same can be said for Simtoe. So here come Malawi.
And listen to the crowd.
Defence Jamaica.
So Facey calls time, and she has been in a bit of trouble. Wanted to call time before the quarter time break. There's that tip, and we're just able to get up to that because she maintained front position, and she hasn't done that yet in this game.
Here's Kalua concentrating on her defenders. Certainly the other end of the court starting to work quite nicely for Malawi.
Because she's carrying. We need to slow them up coming to their goal third. They're coming down too fast, and it's too hard defensively in the circle. We have to stop it in the middle, right?
Strong. Be at their centre pass. Everybody has to mark at their centre pass.
Come on. Dig deep.
Just a bit of footage here from Imelda Aiken. She's an unbelievable athlete, but she's in all sorts. And I reckon Jamaica would love to get her off, but with 6.5 minutes to go in this quarter, Malawi are on a roll, and I don't think they'd risk it. There's no point keeping it for the semi-final if you don't get there.
Yep, the complexion of the game's changed a little. You heard Jill McIntosh saying you've got to slow them down court. Malawi leading this quarter 10-9. 6.5 minutes remaining in it. Malawi centre pass. The lead now, just 4 goals. Mottlehewa hits the deck. That's a better ball into Aiken.
Great defensive pressure there.
Aiken Pinnock, she hasn't had to do too much, but she did that beautifully. And that was a good game for Jamaica because Malawi were really starting to look dangerous. Three quick goals for Jamaica help them steady the ship. Still just 5 goals in it. Oh, what a jump from Kumwenda. Malawi yet to miss a goal.
Advantage play, re-attack. Advantage re-attack, obstruction.
Gee, that's athletic from Thompson. Beautiful take. Saw the space in front of her, stepped in, and the pass was on to Imelda Aiken. Better play from Malawi. Just the swing of the ball across court then just opened up that goal circle. And often you talk about wanting to come through the middle corridor, but sometimes that gets clogged up, and a little swing is all you need from one side of the court to the other, just to change the angle.
Oh, smart from Aiken, just the tap to herself so that she could get the ball cleanly.
Advantage contact, keeper.
But the closest Romelda Aiken gets to a long shot coming into this game, shooting at 93%, and 113 of her 113 successful shots have been from short range on a single long-range shot. Not even an attempt.
Kumwenda doing all she could to get back that back in court. Jamaica doing a good job of keeping Kumwenda relatively quiet.
Keep eye contact.
So Nguera in the right position then, in front, but right up on the body. And probably needs to come off the body more to give herself some space to contest without drawing the whistle.
Centre contact. Advantage obstruction and moving centre. Advantage obstruction centre. Goal shooter that one.
A little fend there from Aiken.
Advantage contact.
I'm enjoying listening to the commentary from Sharon Kelly, actually.
I was just going to say, she's got a very nice manner. Oh, nice might not be the right term.
Oh, but it, you know, explains it. And as a player, that's all you ask for. Some umpires have a tendency to speak to the players like they're naughty schoolgirls, which we might have been when we were little, but not so much now. Whereas Sharon Kelly, you know, the explanation's there. She's clear about what the players have done wrong without sounding like you're in trouble. You have to go to the principal's office.
Advantage break, goal attack.
Mary Wah certainly seeming to be enjoying herself on the sideline. I'm sure Malawi having a good time here in Sydney. Here come Malawi. Certainly you bump into some of the teams here, there and everywhere. And everyone's saying it is a great event.
Obstruction wing.
Oh, Aiken, how did she get that? And Nguera had it all covered. But it was a little tap down from Aiken that got her the possession.
Oh, that's careless from Malawi, because another opportunity they've given Jamaica to extend this lead. It's already 7.
Contact goalkeeper. Keep coming in, keeper. Come in this side.
Oh, nicely finished from Aiken. And look at this.
Yeah, that's just a great take from Romelda Aiken. Body straight up in the air, which is why she didn't give away the penalty. Just the arm forward to get the ball.
It was a bit of a wobbly old fee, but only because Paula Thompson had done very well to even keep it in court.
Malawi.
And it's the wobbly old feeds that Malawi need to start to work hard to try and do. When you watch the ball come down court for Jamaica, there's just not enough pressure on the ball from Malawi, not enough pressure over the thrower. That's why Jamaica are looking pretty comfortable.
Oh, look at that lean from Aiken Pinnock, and didn't even faze Kumwenda.
Centre contact, centre.
Oh, unlucky Loise. Beckford ran into her. Could have gone either way, that penalty.
Well, that is the last act of the first, or the second quarter, I should say. In the end, 19-16 to Jamaica that quarter. So at the break, it is half-time. Jamaica leading Malawi 38-29.
Oh.
Back to business, 38-29. Jamaica lead. Aiken, that ankle must be all right. She's taking her place on court. Third quarter begins. Malawi in possession. They trail Jamaica by 9.
So a change for Jamaica, though, in that goal attack position. Anna Kay Griffiths is on at goal attack. Khadijah Williams into wing attack. Paula Thompson stays at centre. Sasha Gay Henry has gone from wing attack to wing defence. Angeline Williams remains at goal defence. And Aitken Pinnock stays in her position of goalkeeper.
Contact, both out. Both out.
No changes for Malawi. And Malawi did a pretty good job for most of that quarter. Midway through, they led at 9-8, and it was 13 apiece with about 5 minutes to go. And Jamaica won the last 5 minutes, 6-3 to take out that quarter, 19-16. So a better quarter from Malawi, but they've got a job ahead of them.
That's contact, wing. Advantage break, goal defence.
Malawi, they would have been so desperate to take this game. They've never cracked the top 4. And a win here would do it. They're certainly not out of it. They've got 30 minutes left. That's a beautiful ball to Aitken.
That's contact, wing defence. Contact, goal defence.
And Wera, she is making hard work there for Aitken on that occasion.
And you get the sense with Nguira that she's getting more and more comfortable in that role. She's starting to figure out where she needs to be and what she needs to do. And she's a danger player.
And when you think about it, I mean, these two countries don't meet that often. So she probably hasn't had too much experience against Aitken.
A little bit more energy about them, Malawi. In the opening minutes of this quarter, a little defensive wing can sometimes spur you on to shoot 2 or 3 goals in a row. Oh, that was ambitious. And Wendell was up for it.
Oh, Paula Thompson.
Advantage wing obstruction.
Didn't go far though. Fell to Mwafalewa. Angeli Williams.
Really like Jamaica's defensive structure. They're playing a very tight one-on-one style of game, using the outside arm when needed, using their footwork to get them out of trouble and keep them out of trouble. And should they win through this game and play against Australia, they are going to bother Australia.
Obstruction, wing attack.
Sergei Henry now at wing defence. Griffiths goes back.
Offside, wing. Goal there. Free pass, goal there.
Yeah, lovely delivery then from Williams. You can see the nice high one-handed release. That allows the ball to get plenty of air underneath it, and if you do that well to Aitken, she'll take it most times. She's an absolute ball getter. Turns herself inside out to get possession. Oh, Williams again, just the use of that outside arm.
Oh no, where's it going to fall? It falls to Jamaica. Great aerial skills by just about all the Jamaican players. Every time Malawi make a few steps towards closing that gap, Jamaica just shut the door.
And that, to me, Jen, is a real sign of maturity in this Jamaican team. The fact that they're very confident in the way they go about things, but they also don't get rattled when a team comes back at them. They fall back into their attacking structure. They look to put an end to the run just by scoring, and they do it very simply, just go the most direct route to Romelda Aitken, and they don't get too upset about things. Whereas we've seen Malawi a couple of times in this match get incredibly frustrated when things haven't gone their way.
Break, goal defence.
Oh, beautiful work. Kamwenda took the drive up the middle. That drew the two Jamaican defenders in facing an Aiken Pinnock, and that left Sim Towie at the post. So nice movement then from Kamwenda.
Oh, how often do you see that sort of move from Paula Thompson?
Contact ring attack. Guys, contact ring. Construction, walking.
There it is, just a beautiful move up the middle. And when both defenders are focused on the goal shooter, a little simple move like that can open up the goal attack.
5 all in this quarter. Really even performance from Jamaica. 19 goals in the first quarter, 19 in the second.
Contact goalkeeper. With keeper.
And this quarter starting in much the same fashion as the second quarter, with Malawi having a really good run, leading it by a goal, 6-5.
Advantage obstruction.
They couldn't finish off that second quarter. It was the last 5 minutes that got Jamaica just that little lead in that quarter. So the challenge for Malawi is just to keep their heads in it for the full 15, not play well for 10 and let it slide.
There are those quarter numbers spelt out.
Contact.
So Malawi building.
Centre.
13 in the first, 16 in the
Contact goal
second.
defence.
Still 8 minutes remaining in the third.
Contact on the ball. So both out. Jamaica.
A run and leap pass from Thompson again. Oh, beautiful. Oh, and Nwerish, yes, she can control it.
Yep, nice little win again there. So Nwera's doing a job. She's winning the ball back. She's won won the ball back twice in this quarter.
But it was awkward for her too, because the goalpost was right there. You can either get your hands tangled round the goalpost or have to lean on it. Aiken Pinnock slowly gets to her feet. Now that's important for Malawi. It's their centre pass to come. Watch this.
Yeah, she did a good job. Ball just hit the post, but no part of her body did. Again, a chance for Malawi to have a little run. And they do it, and they're leading this quarter 9-6. A bit of a danger moment here for Jamaica. This is where they've responded well throughout this game. And it'll be instructive to see how they respond here. Well, in the best way possible, directly to Aiken.
Obstruction centre.
Oh, well, that's where that step in has cost Kamwenda big time.
Yeah, she's done it today for the first time, and it hasn't quite worked. Sasha Gay Henry puts a foot offside, but Kamwenda has been very cute
Hold tight. In the circle. Offside.
with that through the course of the game, through the course of the tournament, just playing the ball off the goalpost, which she's quite at liberty to do. Just came unstuck then. So bodies flying everywhere here for Jamaica.
Well, Kamwenda a bit lucky. Eventually Williams not wanting to give that ball up to Bridget Kamwenda.
Oh, do you know what? I love how tough these two teams are. They take it to each other. Beautiful take from Jamaican. Well, shooter Imelda Aiken. It's a real trademark, especially with the African teams. They go down hard and they bounce up straight away. Really great to watch.
Good balance from Kwanda Loise. She's a bit of a firecracker, the Malawi centre. Just about shorter than every opponent she comes against, but gee, she gives it her all.
Oh, unlucky. Guira did everything right. Just gave away the penalty on the land, trying to protect her rebound space.
I can't help but think, Liz, that if Malawi can keep this margin as it is. Oh, look at the elbow right in the face of Sasha Gay Hendry. I don't think Simtawe even realised she'd done it. Oh, what a ball! And it ends up Kumwenda.
How did she get that?
Play of the day so far.
Yeah, well done. I'm going to believe that Simtawe tipped it to her deliberately.
But you just think that this final quarter could really be a pearler if they can keep this margin just within touch. And then throw everything at them in the final quarter. Oh, quite clearly,
Yeah,
directed
she did.
pass.
Beautiful.
Advantage offside, wing defence. Advantage offside, goal attack.
Oh, that was a great ball.
There you are, Sheila.
And Simtawe took the drive, which really saw Williams just come off onto Simtawe. That opened up the space for Kumwenda, and that's why that goal attack drive is so important when there's a holding goal shooter. She doesn't get the ball, it doesn't come up on the stat sheet, but it really does clear the way. Guira,
She had a crack at that.
well, here's a moment.
And I love the way the Malawi defenders, they really support each other physically, literally. Hold each other up sometimes.
This is patient play.
Contact goalkeeper.
Oh, this is a bit of a moment here. Malawi get that margin back to 5.
Jamaica, you feel like they're in control of this game, but they simply cannot put Malawi away.
Angeli Williams doing what she could, couldn't bring it in.
Right next to the post. Advantage offside.
Here we go. 4 goals in it, 48-44, dying stages of the third quarter.
Malawi leading this quarter 15 goals to 10.
Crowd really starting to get involved.
Oh,
Which
big
way?
win!
Nguera, stand up.
She has grown through the course of this match. She's started to get the hang of where she needs to be.
Look at this from Malawi. And you talked about this before, Liz, the fact that when Malawi get a bit of a roll on, the momentum
Obstruction goalkeeper.
just builds and builds.
This is what we expected from this game, Jen. And it's just starting to deliver.
Advantage contact wing. Contact centre.
Malawi move to within 2 goals of Jamaica. 20 seconds left.
Big mistake from Jamaica, but Malawi will need to be quick. They've got to look to Kumwenda in the circle.
Wing defence
Well, 13 seconds remaining, and Sasha Gay-Henry has called a timeout.
Interesting, that picture of Peace Kalua and Mary Wire. Mary Wire so animated, the head coach. Peace Kalua, you just can never tell what's going on in there. But this is a very busy Malawi huddle. 13 seconds on the clock. This is how they've got themselves back in this position, Malawi. Minutes Reynolds can't believe what's going on, and that was the error from the centre pass. Grace Mwafuliwa doing her part. 12 seconds on the clock in the third quarter.
You wonder if the Malawi team has a sense of the time left. And it's a bit academic now. Oh, Aiken!
No, that won't count. Time has gone. And what a game we have in front of us. 15 minutes remaining. It is Jamaica leading Malawi 48-46. And you said it, Liz, this game has just ignited.
It has.
That third
and the
quarter,
crowd.
Third quarter won by Malawi, 17-10. What went wrong?
Well, it's more about what went right for Malawi. Finally, they started to capitalise on the turnover ball they got. So in the first half, let's listen to what Jill McIntosh has got to say.
Protect your post, because that's where it should be, right? Keep that.
So Jill McIntosh telling the Jamaican defenders to protect the post because that's where she'll be, but it takes Mike Kamwenda sometimes a little while to get into that position. Shooting accuracy from Malawi, just extraordinary. Same with Jamaica. It's been a really good shooting display. Romelda Aiken, 33 from 36 at 92%. At the other end of the court, Kamwenda, 28 from 30 at 93%. Both teams have been impressive defensively, but remember at halftime, Malawi didn't have an intercept to their name. In that third quarter, they picked up an intercept, they picked up 6 deflections, they picked up the ball on 4 of those occasions, but the difference was, Jen, they started to score off it, and you could see that Malawi started to move the ball down the court with a whole lot more authority than what they had been doing in the first half of the game. And it just feels like Malawi were a little bit stunned by the intensity. They weren't quite sure how to combat Jamaica in the first half. Nguira in particular really started to find her space in front of Aiken and started to make that feed into Aiken a little less sure from the Jamaican midcourt. In that first half, the Jamaican midcourt really could turn and throw the ball to Romelda Aiken with their eyes shut. But the defensive pressure from Malawi, and they looked to mount it a little bit further down the court. In the first half, the ball was coming in very quickly. But towards the end of that third quarter, they had started to slow the speed of the Jamaican feed. So, you know, full credit there to Nguira. She really did start to disrupt things. Kamwenda in particular has been on the move in this match, and you get a real taste of the difference in style. Yes, you have 2 very dominant shooters at either end, but Kamwenda moves a whole lot more than Romelda Aiken, so just keep your eye on that this quarter.
And there's the way the quarters have played out. And that's startling, isn't it? That third quarter, 10 goals only for Jamaica. Malawi's best quarter of the game. So what a final quarter we have ahead of us. Malawi will have the centre pass. Listen to the crowd. Suddenly they are in this match big time. (48-46), Jamaica lead Malawi. 15 minutes to find who will play Australia in the semi-final. Big pressure from Jamaica.
So no surprises that Beckford's back on at goal attack for Jamaica. Annika Griffith really was ineffective for Jamaica, then shot 2 from 3, but part of the reason that Jamaica only scored 10 goals was that the flow in that quarter, in that third quarter, just stopped, especially the ball coming into Aiken. You should see that corrected now with Beckford back on court. That's happened to Jamaica a couple of times in that game against England. They made the change, they pulled Beckford off court, and in that third quarter, they really did struggle. So it's almost like a carbon copy of that game. England, though, made them pay, and we'll see if Malawi do the same thing.
We've got a wayward shoe in the middle of the shooting circle. Angeli Williams gets things sorted out. Caroline Mtakuli, captain of Malawi, has been for a number of years. Push shot from Kumwenda.
Yeah, it's a different looking shot, isn't it, to say if you watch Australia or New Zealand, all the action comes from the wrist. Whereas if you watch, for example, a Nat Medhurst or a Caitlin Bassett, shot comes more from the body, almost from the knees up, whereas Kumwenda, it's the wrists up.
Well, that ankle of Romelda Aiken must be holding up. It's going to have to, because Jamaica need her.
It's beautiful play from Jamaica, straight up the middle, using the middle corridor. Thompson's been impressive in this game at centre for Jamaica. She's really directed that ball through the guts of the court.
Guys, instruction, goal attack!
It's a big goal from Sintawi. Been impressive from Malawi, 19 from 19 at 100%.
Almost didn't look as though there was enough on that, but Aiken up to the challenge, makes it look good. Cindy Sintowe really coming into her own. And now we've got Nicole Aiken-Pinnock. She's called time. She's the captain of Jamaica. She's just to your right of screen, coming into picture now. Walks very slowly across to the sideline.
She's got that right calf heavily strapped. And the fact that she's not going into the huddle suggests to me that she actually is hurt.
It's interesting how Jamaica use their captain. Some of the big games, often she's not on. Well, that's a very impassioned break for Malawi. A lot of these players, they know each other very well. A number of them all members of the Tigresses club. back in Malawi.
I don't know that anyone was listening in that huddle. There's just lots of people talking, and that can happen when you're sort of full of adrenaline, which some of these players would be.
1 goal in at 52-51. Jamaica in front.
Goalkeeper contact.
So Nicole Aiken-Pinnock is off. Facey has come on to goalkeeper.
Contact, goal defence.
And Evangeline Williams in at goal defence for Jamaica. So Facey heavily bandaged or heavily strapped on that left leg. She didn't have that coming into the game. You remember she started the game and then came off. So crucial turnover there.
Yeah, what a steal. Oh, Nguira, can she... Oh, she's done it again. And that was a big turnover for Jamaica, but somehow Malawi have won it back. Well, not somehow, they've done it through their defensive unit. Well, for so much of the third quarter, so it was awkward, but she somehow rolled it in.
It looked like she had control of it. It's the sort of ball that Ronaldo Aiken takes with regular monotony.
For so much of the third quarter, the margin was 9, and then Malawi 8 into that.
Oh.
This quarter, it's been 2.
Huge turnover, and it's great to see a turnover from Malawi come from the mid-court. It's where they'll win and lose this game. Big touch. That's a long arms of Thompson in there. She's tall for a mid-court player. And that's an opportunity gone begging for Malawi. Thompson standing at just under 5'11", 178 centimetres. Just a bit worried about Bridget Kumwenda in that wing attack position. She's slowed down considerably in this quarter, and Malawi need her offering and re-offering. That's better from her.
Oh, Kumwenda.
I do not know how she took that and did not step. It's impressive. Great balance.
And talk about game face competition that's going on at this event. I tell you, why Kumwenda, she's got a few game faces. They're all amazing.
So if Malawi win this, it would make history.
It would.
First time they would ever appear in the finals, only the second African team after South Africa in '95 to appear in a World Cup final series. But Jamaica at the moment just winning the little battles. And Malawi have just coughed up ball on 2 crucial occasions in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, that was a big gain for Jamaica. Just that bit of breathing space just gets a little bit wider.
Diamonds would be sitting watching this game. Oh!
Mtakuli, casual as you like.
Yeah, she's been quite in defence this game, Mtakuli, but if you're going to pick up the ball, now's the time to do it. No intercepts, 4 deflections.
Glass does well. Jumps right onto the edge of that circle without going over. So we're back to where we were. 2-goal advantage, 56-54, Jamaica lead. Malawi centre pass.
Malawi must score here. They've got to put some pressure on Jamaica.
Here they go, 1 goal. We're just past the halfway mark of the final quarter.
stand out of play.
Conwenda called for the break. Paula Thompson on her knees, and she's lost a shoe.
Ball with you, wing
So
attack.
there's a time, catch your breath.
So, Jen, Jamaica haven't finished below 4th since 91. In 91, they finished 3rd at the World Cup here 24 years ago, and in every World Cup since, they've played off in the final series. This is a big moment for them, and a huge moment for Malawi.
Look at Ntakuli organising Wera. Sasha Gay-Henry. Wily character.
Centre obstruction. Obstruction, keep up.
I reckon Ntakuli has got to come back and help Nguira the moment the ball gets anywhere near the edge of the circle. Let Beckford take the ball, make her shoot, put the pressure back on her.
Good to see urgency from Lorien Nguira going after that ball, making sure Malawi have as much time as they can. Love the knee flick.
It's hard enough to catch a ball like that, but to be able to throw in a little tuck jump in between, impressive. So Jamaica just seem to have slowed the ball down at the moment, playing a very deliberate style of netball.
Aiken gets herself up, leaves it to Beckford. Oh, thought about coming out the other side.
So 10-all in this quarter. Wise hasn't put much of a foot wrong this game. That was very nearly a misfeed, but fortunate. The penalty came their way.
The Malawi shooters, they have been very good. Once they've got the ball, they've made very few mistakes. 58-57, 5 minutes remaining in the match. Oh, Beckford put it straight into Nguira, but contact on the edge of the circle.
Damage obstruction, contact, goalkeeper. Hold tight. Right?
So Malawi desperately trying to get this break. Look at this. I don't think Nguira could believe her luck, but in actual fact there was a penalty.
Oh, that was a beautiful read then from Facey.
A bit of confusion there. She'd sailed on through, perhaps forgetting she was actually wearing the goalkeeper's bib now. Now Ntakuli has called time. Oh, what a fascinating game. It was a bit one-sided, wasn't it, in the early stages, and it has just come alive in the second half. So there is Caroline Ntakuli, 11-all in this fourth quarter.
And the last 4 and a bit minutes of this game is going to be a test of character for both teams. A team that can maintain the maturity, that can maintain possession, not have a brain explosion, not lose their cool. This is a really tough situation for both teams to be in. For Jamaica, there is so much to lose, and for Malawi, there is so much to gain.
A great cheer for these players as they return to court. 4 minutes remaining. 59-57. Some Towe. She is not afraid. Jamaica simply need to keep scoring off their own. Malawi need the break. And another shoe problem, and again it's Thompson.
Goal defence contact.
Oh, she should probably call time, shouldn't she? It's umpire's time, isn't it, when a shoe leaves your foot?
Step back.
She's playing on.
Goal defence.
Maybe she was inspired by seeing Papua New Guinea playing bare feet this morning.
I suspect Paula Thompson had better things to do, but here, now we have the shoe put back where it belongs. Time is held. Well, at the moment, Jamaica resolute, not letting Malawi get that break.
It's a really high-scoring game as well. Both teams just have brilliant shooting lines. 91% Jamaica shooting at. Malawi shooting at 97% as a team. Oh, this is a crucial moment.
Oh, look at this. And what a dramatic way of getting that ball back in play. Oh, 1 goal, 3 minutes left. Jamaica lead, 60-59.
Oh, this game is getting willing. So Malawi need the turnover, and it's really got to come from their mid-court. Guira's doing everything she can, but to expect her to pull in something amazing against Romelda Aiken might be too much to ask. We sort of get the feeling that Malawi need to continue to move the ball down. They want to score quickly so they can get the ball back in Jamaica's hand and win it off them. So it's a shootout at the moment.
I should mention too, of course, in these rounds, a draw is acceptable. Well, acceptable from the officials is what I mean. There's no extra time in these qualification rounds. And then I presume the place in the semi-final will be decided on goal percentage. Get your calculator out, Liz.
Win defensive structure.
Counting was never my strong point, Jim.
No, do some sums. Certainly not mine. We'll get back to you on that one.
Contact. The keeper.
So our brains trust tells us that Jamaica would have them on percentages if it was a draw. So Malawi must win. They must score here. They must turn over from the next centre pass. It is as simple an equation as that.
That's contact centre and structure.
And this is probably where it has to happen if it's going to happen for Malawi. They trail by 1. There is 1 minute left in the match.
This is a moment of the game.
Grace Maifuliwa holding things up.
Oh, Beckford looks in, doesn't want to risk it.
And Jamaica won't be unhappy with this being slow. Jamaica's throw-in.
Contact goalkeeper.
Big breath from Romelda Aiken.
Instruction.
And she may just have got Jamaica home. 25 seconds, minute Reynolds. She knows how close this has been.
Oh! Beautiful take. That's a gutsy ball. But Malawi had to do it. This is their last opportunity. You suspect there's not enough time left. Gee, they've been good.
They'd have to intercept the centre pass and score almost immediately.
That is contact. That is contact centre.
Jamaica, hold on. They make the semi-finals. And what a blow for Malawi. They go down by 1 goal. You can see the emotion there from Kumwenda. And she is embraced by Mary Wire. Malawi go back to the 5th to 8th grouping from where they came. But oh my word, that was close.